All right. Hey, what's the biz, everybody? It's your boy Baker Maker, aka D Ensley. You know, um, I'm just here to what am I here for? As you can see, I'm in my Harley getup. To be more exact, I'm in my 2016 Suicide Squad Harley getup. You know, um, this is probably the most complete I've ever been with this particular costume. Because for one thing, I'm actually like I got the collar on, I got the cuffs right here, the spiky cuffs. Boy, are they spiky. Oof. Got my gloves, everything. All I'm missing is the jacket, but I'm just gonna be sticking it out without it for this stream. So as you probably I'm planning on probably uploading this on YouTube as well. So there's that. But okay, so basically I'm here all dressed up in my Harley getup. I just want to basically just talk about some things that's been going on in my mind lately. As far as like for instance, I want to talk about the biggest thing, the Ayer Cut. I want to talk about that. That's a big main topic I want to talk about, and I also want to talk about the controversy surrounding the whole about the new Suicide Squad movie that just came out. It just came out like maybe like 2 weeks ago, and the box office performance and stuff. Give my thoughts on that whole situation. And also just talk, and then I also want to go over I don't know, some cosplay, just my future plans for Harley cosplays in general and stuff. But those are like the two main topics I want to talk about. And I do want to say so okay, I guess I'll just talk with the Suicide Squad, talk about the new Suicide Squad first. First thing I want to talk about is something about so it's not really a spoiler for me to say this, okay? So, well, first off, those of you who've seen, who don't know, I actually went to go see the movie twice. Went to go see it twice. Saw it on the premiere night, and saw it and then I also got to saw it in IMAX and stuff. It was pretty good. I enjoyed the movie a lot. Way more than I initially did with the first movie. But yeah, in the movie, so like I said, it's not really a spoiler for me to say this, but I was actually surprised that Margot Robbie's Harley actually spends more time in the red dress than she does in her in the combat outfit. You know, the one with the "We Live Fast, Die Clown" jacket. That one. Here I was going into the movie thought that we were going to spend more time with her in that outfit the whole time, but actually it was in the reverse. We spend more time with her in the red dress than we do the other, which honestly I'm not bothered by it at all, because it's such a it's such a small thing to critique about. Like, I was surprised by that. That's all I'm saying. We spend maybe like a couple minutes, a couple scenes with her who were in that combat outfit, which, like I said, I thought it was going to be her main attire throughout the film, but it turns out not to be. And it had me thinking, because like we got some really badass moments with her in that dress, right? And my thing is, as you know, I'm a gender bender. I gender bend Harley Quinn. I give my own spin on how my Harley would dress up like. So as you notice, I don't go out of my way and cross dress. Yes, there's, like I said, there's a difference between gender bending and then cross dressing. And for the record, there's nothing wrong with cross dressing. It's just I just want to point out there is a difference between the two. As you know, I'm not wearing like any booty shorts or a bra or anything like that. And as you notice with my outfit, instead of saying "Daddy's Little Monster," I put "Mommy's Little Monster." You know, but yeah, and normally I like to try to stick to what I would think my Harley would wear, what Harley would wear if he was a guy, a straight home, a heterosexual male who just happened to have a little bit of flamboyancy in him, right? He's still Harley at the end of the day. And I was thinking, obviously, I'm not gonna cosplay the red. I'm not gonna do the red dress like it. But I was like, is there a way I can gender bend that? Because at one point, for the longest time, I was totally against cosplaying the nightclub outfit she has that she has doing the 2016 film. And I managed to make that work somehow by gender bending it and just having me wear like a like some type of not like a short or something, a tuxedo type of thing. But I managed to make it work out somehow. And instead of wearing like just a straight up wig, I just like a blonde wig with the pink and blue pigtails. What I tips in him, I just wore like a dreadlocks wig, and then dipped them in blue and red type of thing. But I'm thinking about doing something like, is there a way I can gender bend that look to make it work? I was thinking like maybe instead of wearing a dress, I wear like a straight up red suit, right? A red suit, but it can't just be any just typical old red suit, right? So like, it's got to be something cool, something. I'm still brainstorming that, but it's just some food for thought type of thing. So there's there for there. For you to know, I am thinking about doing like a gender bend version of that look. I just haven't figured out exactly what it will be exactly and how I'm going to go about it, but I'm gonna make it work somehow. It's just something to brainstorm. There's no but okay, now to the next topic, like the next big topic. Now, I've noticed lately with the I've been seeing a lot of articles, a lot of videos talking about it, how like the latest movie is not doing so well in the box office, at least not the way that Warner Brothers had intended it to, what it was hoping for. And I want to say this right now. I think going off of what the situation we're going through, the world is going through right now, it's best to lower expectations when it comes to stuff like that, but as far as sales. And I keep seeing like how like Free Guy, that movie starring Ryan Reynolds, is doing a lot better than say Suicide Squad is. And one thing you have to keep in mind is the one thing that a lot of people not really taking into account is the fact that unlike Suicide Squad, where you can actually watch it from home on the HBO Max stream, you can't do that with Free Guys. Free Guys, you have to go and watch it in theaters. You have to sit your ass in seats to go watch it. Meanwhile, with Suicide Squad, you got two options. You can either just go and watch it in theaters, which people are doing. That's what I did. Or you can just sit at home and just watch it on an app. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of things to take that into account. So I feel like the viewers, people who have watched this movie, because people obviously, a lot of people have watched this movie. It's not like people are just not interested and just not going. No, people are watching this movie. You just got multiple options to do it. So it's split between the two. You got those who are watching it and going out of their ways and go and watching it in theaters, and others who just go and watching it at home. So there's one thing to also keep that in account. So I don't think it's really fair to compare the two films and say, oh, one's better than the other. No, I don't think that's right. But yeah, that's one thing you have to keep that in account and the fact that we're kind of in a pandemic at the moment. So like, there's always all these other accounts to take into. That's a big one right there. Is that a lot of people now, we got an option to just sit back and watch it at home. That's what they're doing. So that's one thing to keep in account. If anything, I don't see this as a bad thing. Hopefully, I hope, hopefully, Warner Brothers see that and realize the situation, and not try to take this as a big loss or anything like that, or like do something drastic, as in just completely cut off all plans of doing a sequel or anything like that, because Warner Brothers lately have been infamous for doing that, cutting off any type of plans they had for DC, and just put them on the wayside and stuff. I mean, look at Birds of Prey. I mean, no, not Birds of Prey. Look at Gotham City Sirens. Look at the Batman, and the one that was going to be directed and starred by Ben Affleck. And that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Instead, I mean, we are getting a Batman film coming up, but it could be with a different director and a different actor altogether. Different script from what I hear and everything. So there's that. So yeah. I'm like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I really did. I really did a lot, and I am planning on doing like a thorough review of it pretty soon. A written review, like I tend to do with these things. I might also do maybe a video review at some point, maybe even post it on YouTube. Who knows? But there's that. So with that all said, I want to go into the big topic of today, the one that got me motivated to even do this in the first place, and that's the Ayer Cut, its existence, and the controversy surrounding it. So I guess it's probably best for me to just start off and talking about the history behind it from what I know and everything, and give a little bit further context. So as you guys know, the first Suicide Squad came out back in 2016, released in August of that year. It was one of the most highly anticipated films of the year, and I was super hyped for it. At least, now keep in mind, I wasn't as hyped for it as I was, say, Batman v Superman, because that was a movie I was waiting for years to happen as a kid, and unfortunately, it didn't really live up to expectation. I liked it, but I didn't really love it. I felt disappointed at the end. I left that movie theater feeling kind of disappointed. There were so many things I wish it could have done better. The fight between Batman and Superman was awesome. Don't get me wrong about that. It was awesome. But the movie as a whole, it just kind of left me kind of bored. And then like I said, it just wasn't the movie that I had hoped, waited for, And so with that said, I was kind of, like I said, I was a little let down by it. And I was, obviously I wasn't the only person that felt that way. In fact, there was a lot more people that felt, gave it much harsher reviews than I did. People outright hated that movie, right? What, few exceptions, one of my favorite, YouTubers, Tyrone Magnus, he loves that movie. And it's so funny because he hates Suicide Squad. So there you go. And apparently he didn't like this new Suicide Squad for some reason. I don't know. He kind of gave it away in his thumbnail. I haven't actually seen the video of him actually talking about why. Maybe at some point. But so when Suicide Squad came out, I was super hyped for it. Now, first, I want to also give this into context. So it was actually the Suicide Squad trailers, at least one of the either was the first or second one. It was the second one, I believe, that came out that year that really got me hyped for the movie. Believe it or not, it was actually the movie that those trailers. I actually credit those trailers as being what got me into actually cosplaying Harley Quinn in the first place. Just seeing Margot Robbie as Harley and just all the buzz around this movie, that's what got me really cosplaying Harley in the first place. Now, I was always a Harley fan prior to those trailers. I was a fan of Harley. I wasn't that much of a big fan, as I am now, of course. I always liked Harley, from her appearance in Batman the Animated Series and stuff. And of course, I love, and then other stuff she was in too. But I wasn't really that big of a fan until like what when that year when Suicide Squad came out, and of course me doing more, and then once I started cosplaying the character, it was also due multiple occasions because at that point I was already a cosplayer. I was already like I started cosplaying back in 2012, and at that point, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something I had never done before. My most frequent cosplay at the time was Spider-Man, and I wanted to do something different. And I was like, I never, because cosplaying a female character, like that's definitely different. But of course, I wanted to gender bend it instead of just doing a full-out cross-dressing cosplay. I wanted to do just gender bend it, warp it into what works for me, and which I did, and as I kept cosplaying the character, even went on to do multiple outfits. I did more research, read more stories, read more books of Harley, did a lot of stuff, and I found myself really loving the character, appreciating the character much more than I initially did. I found a deeper appreciation for Harley over time, and I hold those trailers for piquing my interest, and so when August came around, the movie came out. I loved the movie. Well, okay, I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I did like it. I did really enjoy it. But see, I didn't know. With that said, I did have issues with it. I did have my fair share of issues with the movie. I thought that one of the weakest points for me was definitely like say the Enchantress. I didn't really care for the characters, the main villain of the movie, Enchantress. Which, by the way, for the record, I called it. Fucking called it way back then when we kept getting those trailers right, and we were like, "Is Enchantress good?" Because like now, it was never outright confirmed. Here's the thing people need to remember. There was never outright confirmed whether or not Enchantress was actually part of the Suicide Squad or was she the main villain of the movie. We didn't know. We didn't know what was her deal. Like, a lot of people assumed that she was probably a member. Me, on the other hand, when I stopped watching those trailers, I noticed all those scenes we got from her, she was never with the actual squad themselves. She was always alone in those scenes and stuff. And I was like, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if she end up being the main villain in this story, in this series, in the movie, and which I actually called it. She was. Waller was trying. Amanda Waller was trying to get her into the Suicide Squad, of course, but it went. The plan went. She went AWOL, and she ended up just going on and trying to take over the world and shit. And of course, we had that the beam in the sky, which the trope that we get so much in these super comic book films. Honestly, like I said, her story, which was pretty much the main plot of the story, the whole thing. I wasn't really that invested in it at all. I kind of felt like the third act with her whole fight was kind of weak to me. I didn't really care for the whole Rick Flag and Enchantress love story they had trying to going on at all. Really, I really didn't. Like I said, there was a lot of things about them. Like I will sit here and say like the movie was. I can see. I can kind of see why people hate this, didn't enjoy the movie. So yeah, even though I enjoyed the movie, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people really did not like this movie. In fact, there's people to this day that go so far as saying that this is one of the worst comic book movies of all time, right? And I'm like, I wouldn't go that far, really. There's way worse comic movies than this, and I mean, a part of me do get why people have issues with this movie. It definitely suffers from some editing issues, which, if you go behind the scenes, you actually understand why that is the case. And I'll go into that in a minute. There is a lot of editing issues, and there's a reason for them. But so there's that, and then of course, obviously, like even though I enjoyed like the character, like I enjoyed Captain Boomerang, I enjoyed all the other characters, Killer Croc and them. We don't get as much screen time on them as say for someone like Will Smith's Deathshot or Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, whom by the way killed it in her first like debut. her first performance as Harley. Margot Robbie killed it. I remember people were. She did. By the way, she did have the Brooklyn accent. It just wasn't as. She didn't really honed it. Feel like she definitely got better at it over time. But like it was her first time doing the character. I remember saying like in the trailer she didn't have it for some reason. I don't know why she didn't have it, but in the movie she definitely did. It just wasn't as pronounced as it is in recent films, in her recent appearances and stuff. But she definitely has gotten better with it. And like I said, she was a highlight of that whole movie, really. Her and Will Smith. And like I said, I enjoyed the other characters in it. I just feel like we didn't get as much screen time on them as much as say like those two. And of course, even Diablo, his backstory was pretty, was sad too. But like comparing that to this move to the later to recent film that just came out, like the chemistry among them is much stronger and deeper than say the one in back then, and that's one of the things I will say about that. But yeah, like for instance, even like someone like Katana, we didn't get as much as I think she should have, right? We should have saw more of her abilities. We should have saw more of what she could do, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being told to us by Rick Flag in her introduction scene, the movie should have expanded upon that, by showing, not telling it, that type of thing. But, yeah, but yeah, overall, like I did have issues with the movie, but I didn't think it was really as bad as say a lot of people were saying it was, and I still stand by that statement. But I still stand by that. I still enjoyed the movie for what it was, But like I said, part of me do get why people didn't enjoy that movie. Like I said, it definitely had his issues. I have issues with it too, but so with that said, obvious so. Even though the movie did do pretty well in the box office, it did pretty damn well. Like I said, critically, it did not. It did. At first, it was getting like mixed reviews, but then over time, it just got mostly negative reviews. A lot of people just did not like it. They panned this movie, and like I said, it's pretty much looked down for a lot of comic book fans for multiple reasons. Oh, another one, a big common complaint being Jared Leto's Joker, right? So like I never found see, here's the thing about me. I never outright hated his character, hated this Joker. I feel that he didn't really have much time for me to really like him, like to get invested in his whole character really at all, really. And then like the scenes, like if you were to honestly, if you were to take out his scenes so obviously he had scenes like from the flashbacks. So like for instance, the flashback scenes leading up to Harleen Quinzel becoming Harley Quinn. Now, if you were to keep those scenes in, but keep out all the scenes involving him about like trying to go save Harley from Task Force X, right? If you were to take out that whole subplot about him trying to rescue Harley, the movie would have remained the same way it was at the end of the day. So all his scenes were really outside the flashback ones were kind of pointless. If I'm being real with you, they didn't really do nothing to advance the story or not. It didn't at all, really. And that was like a big problem. So, but apparently he had Jared Leto has gone on record saying there was a whole bunch of scenes that he had, but unfortunately got cut by Warner Brothers. They just cut it from the movie, from what we got in theaters, and he was pretty salty about it, as I from I heard, he put a lot of work into a lot of work into being the Joker for that movie. He put a lot of in himself in it. And unfortunately, so yeah, I can kind of get where he's coming from, why he was so upset about it, and not just with him, but even the director, David Ayer. So apparently, his vision for the movie, that's not what we got in the movie. What we got in the theaters was not what he intended on being. So yeah, and for years he's been kind of if you notice on his social media, on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, he's been kind of implying that for years, saying like he's been living little hints of saying how dissatisfied he was with what the film that got released. Constant. It wasn't. That's not his movie at the end of the day. And it's always sad when directors, and it's not the first time we've heard stories where a studio pushed meddle too much with the production of a certain film. You know what I'm saying, for their own agendas and stuff like that. I mean, we saw with Sony with the Amazing Spider-Man films. Even though I enjoyed Amazing Spider-Man 2, they did put a lot of their own meddling into it, trying to plant seeds for, say, like their whole Sinister Six movie they wanted to do and stuff like that. Stuff like that, and I guess they just like they made him whatever he had planned. And here's I definitely feel for him for that. Even though I enjoyed the movie, I will admit it could have been better. I would have really liked to see what he had envisioned. And apparently there's a whole, so here's the interesting thing about it. So unlike with Justice League, where, as the story behind all that, how like Snyder, of course, Zack Snyder, director of the Justice League, back in 2017, as he was going to direct the whole movie. Unfortunately, during production, he had to leave due to because like his daughter had committed suicide, so he had to leave through production. So they had Joss Whedon kind of take over as director, and he had to pretty much take over and direct. And whatever they had planned for the movie, they pretty much scrapped all those ideas that Zack Snyder had, and just went and did their own thing. And that's what we got, the 2017 film in theaters. And a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did not enjoy that movie. I thought it was okay, but even I admit it could have been a lot better than what it was. And thankfully, over time, we got to see his vision. We got to see his version of the Justice League movie just recently, earlier this year, on HBO Max, and I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it way more than the one we got back in 2017. It's one of the best movies easily one of the best movies they've come out for the DCEU. And so with that said, like, so you compare that situation to the situation with David Ayer and the Suicide Squad film. So like, here's the difference between that one. So as when for the Snyder cut, right? For years people petitioned for release the Snyder cut, right? For years, and a lot of people for years even debated among themselves whether or not it even existed. Of course, it did eventually exist. The problem was that a big portion of it never got filmed. A little bit of it, only a portion of it got filmed and stuff like that. And they pretty much had to do like tons and tons of reshoots. Had to put a lot of money into finishing it, and obviously whatever he had written in his script, he pretty much. So even though we did got his version of the movie, it wasn't like the original version of what he had intended on releasing back then, because obviously over time he had to work on it himself and touch on a few things. And obviously he got to release the movie that he wanted to do. He had to after tons and tons of petitionings and stuff like that, the campaign for it, finally Warner Brothers caved in, gave the fans what they wanted. And many people are, and ever since then, ever since the Snyder Cut came out, that's when this whole release the Ayer Cut kind of started to pick up heat. And now it's even becoming even more viral now because of the recent release of the new Suicide Squad film. It's catching some buzz, but not nearly as much as, say, the Zack Snyder cut did. And that's the thing that hurts it from it. But here's the thing, though, that unlike with the Justice League film, they don't really need to do reshoot for this, because according to David Ayer, the movie's like the movie's already ready to go. Like the whole, like most of the scenes, like most of the scenes that all the leaks we've gotten over the years, like the Harley in this wedding dress, or just recently, Harley kissing Deadshot, like all that stuff was filmed. Most of pretty much majority, like I would likely say like about 100% of the film is already filmed. We're just waiting for DC to give the approval. They wouldn't need to really give that much money like they did with the Snyder Cut Justice League. They wouldn't have to. So that's what begs the question: why aren't they just giving us the thumbs up? Why not just release the damn thing? And I was watching like these videos. One particular video speculated that actually going off of what they heard is saying that possibly the reason why they ain't doing it is that they don't want to release it right before the 2021 Suicide Squad film releases, and saying that it might take away attention from it, which I would strongly disagree with that, because I'm like, if anything, it would give more attention to it. It would give more hype, because for instance, this movie actually a lot of people end up enjoying the movie than they did the 2016 version did, then if anything, it'll lead more people to want to watch the new Suicide Squad movie, if anything. So that makes no sense to me. And it's been like 2 weeks now, right, since the new one just came out, and I'm like, okay, if they want to go by that excuse, if they want to really go by that excuse, so like say for instance 5 months have come by, what's their excuse gonna be then? You know what I'm saying? But that's never. We don't know 100% for sure if that's really the reason why they haven't just gone out and released it yet. Others speculate it's a matter of they don't want to admit that they're wrong and stuff like that. I mean, look at with the whole Zack Snyder's Justice League situation. Even though we got it right, and now people are wanting to see a sequel to it, but it seems like Warner Brothers don't seem to have any intention on giving us that. Why? Because they just feel like if it be like they admit that they were wrong or whatever. I don't know. It make them look incompetent, like idiots, for releasing an inferior version of the movie, which they did back in 2017, and and even though, like I said, I did enjoy the 2016 Suicide Squad film. It could have been a lot better than what it was at the end of the day. And I really, at the end of the day, I want to see what David Ayer wanted to, his vision, at the end of the day. I feel like it's only right, to see what he wanted, to see his version of the film. Whether or not it sucks or not, who knows? I really want to see it. Mainly because, it gives us more Margot Robbie Harley, at the end of the day. And maybe, because I want to also see these unseen scenes of the Joker, of Jared Leto's Joker, seeing what exactly he put into a lot of work into, see these scenes, and see and see for myself whether or not he's a decent Joker or not, and now, because we did. Now here's the thing: we do get a chance to see Jared Leto as the Joker again in the Snyder Justice League film, the one that just came out. He had like one scene, and it was pretty cool. I know some people are a little mixed about it, and it's very different. I like it for the fact that he ditched the whole grilled teeth and the tattoos and shit he had going on. He had a different look now. His hair was longer and stuff. I actually liked his scene with Ben Affleck's Batman. And like I said, I want to see what exactly the scenes that he was so butthurt about, them cutting out. I want to see it. I want to see this movie. I do want to see I was never. Here's the thing. I was never that guy saying like, oh, release the Snyder Cut. I was never for it or against it, really. I was just kind of like whatever with it, because I was kind of like, with Zack Snyder, like, I think he's a great director, like, for like when it comes to like visual stuffs, But as far as story, I don't know. Like, kind of mixed with me. Like, cause like I had my issues. Like I said, I had my issues with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. So never the biggest fan of the idea of him directing Justice League in the first place. But with that said, I did not. What happened with him and his daughter, like, was totally. You know, it was tragic. It really was tragic what happened with his daughter and everything. And I'm glad he got to finish what he started back in 2017. Now, I wish for David Ayer, cause, you know, because like, the whole film's like just stuck in a vault somewhere, you know, just waiting to be seen, and I want to see it. You know, I want to see it. I will say this right now. Now, from what I've heard, it doesn't really need any reshoots. But if it turns out it does, I will say if it turns out that they do need to do some reshoots, I can tell you this right now. I don't see Margot Robbie coming back to do those reshoots, because in order to do those reshoots, she'd pretty much have to wear that same outfit that she wore in the movie. Now, even though I love the look she had going on, the aesthetics and stuff like that, I love her look. I love, you know, everything. I'm very aware of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm very aware now of the struggles she had to go through, where, because like I know she hated wearing that outfit. You know, it, like, she looked great, but like having to put that shit on, it wasn't the best for her, and she hated it, and it was tough doing a lot of scenes with wearing that outfit and stuff like that. And you know, and the thing about Margot Robbie was she did like now she, I'm pretty sure she did have like a stunt double, but she did most of it she did on her own, right? So I'm like, yeah, I like to, and you know, just watching another video just talking about her whole struggles being Harley Quinn just made me appreciate her as an actor even more. You know, me appreciate her even more. And I'm like, I don't know if she'd want to go through that again. You know, that's why she's so happy. You know, with Birds of Prey doing like notice we haven't really seen her wear any type of outfits similar to that ever since then. You know. So I don't see her doing those reshoots. Hopefully we don't need a reshoot. From what I heard, we don't need to. So all we need to do is just like Warner Brothers just give the thumbs up, give the approval. Make this happen, you know? Please make it happen, you know? Like I said, I'm for it. Release the Ayer Cut. I'm saying it right now. I'm one of those people saying release the Ayer Cut. I want to see it. So with that said, I know someone else who's like definitely for it right now. So if any of y'all interested, there's another Harley cosplayer who's like preaching the same thing. Release the Ayer Cut. Hold on, let me go on her thing real quick, because I'm trying to remember her name. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me just find her real quick. Hold on. Oh, here it is. It's her name is hold on. It's Crazy Cosplays 2021. She's really she has like her whole photo profile pic is literally release the Ayer Cut. So there it is right here. Definitely follow this girl. She's yeah. And like I did say, if y'all want to keep that hashtag keep the trend alive, you know, release the Ayer Cut, because I'm definitely for it too. I definitely want to see it happen, you know. I would really love to see it happen. Although a part of me kind of see, like I just had a conversation with her just the other day about this very exact thing, and honestly, a part of me don't think it's gonna happen. If I'm being real with you, I don't think it's gonna happen. But with that said, you know, a lot of people said the same thing about the Snyder Cut, and look what happened. So, you know, I don't think we should necessarily give up. Maybe within time, Warner Bros. Will cave and give us what we want. You know, we want more Ayer Cut. You know, so yeah. That's pretty much That is pretty much it, really. That's all I really wanted to talk about with you guys. Like I said, I will give like a full on review on the movie at some point on the on the latest movie that just came out, the newest Suicide Squad film. I'll definitely like have it like a written review like I usually do, and then maybe, I don't know, given time, I might even do like a video talking about it. I've already done like little streams talking about it, like but on my other Instagram accounts like VicarMaker2 and Big Daddy Quinn. But yeah, but those was just like review, like little reactions I did, like just coming back home from just watching the movie. But like, given more time, I've had more time to think about the movie and stuff like that, and pretty soon I'll give you guys a review on that. But for like any, like I said, those of you who are watching this right now on the YouTube, my main account is pretty much the same, Maker, and you can go and see more of my other cosplays I do. Like I said, I don't just cosplay Harley. I cosplay Spider-Man. I cosplay Pikachu. I cosplay Edward Elric, Midoriya from My Hero Academia. I cosplay like multiple characters. So if y'all want to check that out, just go on my Instagram. Of course, the link is in the description below. So now with that all said, I'm gonna go on and take care of some stuff, do some more editing and stuff like that, and that's it. Anyways, stay beast and stay cray cray.